Tonight is, or it's our 8:30 Tuesday night call. Today is May 24th. I cannot believe that Memorial Day is next weekend. Absolutely crazy. This month, we've been having a lot of good discussions with, we started off this month with some ways to incorporate boosting posts through like pages and just sharing some tips. And so Tim and I talked, and we even tried to get some feedback from some coaches. And what I want to do tonight, it looks like first and foremost with our success clip document, I just checked that over again. We don't have any updates. So if any of you on this call, if you have any coaches or your downline have any updates or success club points, make sure those get in the document. I will obviously, like the first or second day of June, we'll post a success club document, and I'll tag all coaches who score success club points for the month of May. So just make sure that that's the document I use through PicMonkey to acknowledge everybody who's earned success club points. So if you don't have points up, just make sure it gets on there. But it looks like from last week when we did the success club rollout, there's no updates. So what I want to do tonight is just share with you guys. I know the girls last week did a great job, and we shared some tips. And we had a good discussion between Irma and Norma. And we did not get to discuss some things that we've talked about with Eric Worre and his Go Pro book. I know there's a lot of coaches. We've recommended that with the Compound Effect, and which is a phenomenal book. So what I want to do tonight is just share a piece with you, which is called the Memory Jogger. I'm just curious. I'm going to share this document in just a sec. How many on the call you worked from a list, whether paper, pencil, Excel spreadsheet? Just on maybe a show of hands. Who worked? Does anybody here work from a list? Okay, awesome. So, especially as a teacher, and just, we all know, everybody on here, most busy parents, 1,000 things going on. I love to work from a list, and so Eric Worre has a tool that he shared. Have you guys heard of Eric Worre before? Do you guys know who that is?
Mm-mm.
Okay. He is one of, he's basically I guess you could say, the GoPro. He's got a like page of thousands of followers, but Eric Worre, he's kind of the network marketing pro guru right now. And the company endorses a lot of stuff by him, especially like he's used the 5-step process that we use with the yard sales, with forming. So what I want to do here tonight with you guys is just share this tool. I'm going to post this in our coach group, but I want to share the value of this. I know I put the post in our group last night for you guys about everybody's got a different why right now. And some of us are, we have discount coaches, we have people that are, making a couple extra bucks, and people that want to make this a full-time career. And I will tell you that, whatever category of those you fall into, organization is such a huge component. And I have now, this in my third year, I've gone through my wife, I've gone through 4 notebooks, and I work from a hot list, a cold list, and then a hot, a warm, and then a cold list. So what I'm going to show you here is just a PDF here, and I'll put this in our group for everyone. So this is can you guys see this right now?
Yep.
So what I want to do here is just go through this with you guys. This Memory Jogger is a way, we have so many coaches right now that are signing, we have a lot of coaches that are signing or getting their friends signed up, and they're working from a list or starting from a list. And what's happened is, a lot of people, the reality is a lot of people lose momentum because they go through their warm market, meaning their friends and family, and they might get a couple people that, join, whether they want to sign as a coach or sign as a challenger. And then after that warm list is gone, or even the hot list, they're basically, what do I do? I have no list. And then they end up quitting, or they just phase out. And so I want to share with you guys just how much, I think a lot of us, including myself, we overthink and overlook so many opportunities to invite people to what we have, whether it's on the coaching side of it or whether it's on the customer side of it. So this right here is a document, and I cannot speak highly enough of this book. If you don't have the book, I would I have this on CD in my car. I actually, when I go to Fit Club with Tim on Wednesday nights, when I drive to Grand Haven, the 30-minute drive, I typically put this in. And I've listened to the CD several times, just like the Compound Effect and with the Entrepreneur Roller Coaster with Darren Hardy. But this right here, his whole approach is, in network marketing, there are three kinds of people: the posers, amateurs, and professionals. And that kind of, he breaks it down. And what I just shared with you, a lot of people come in with the mentality that, that people they're going to work from this list, and if a couple people join them, they're going to be successful. And if not, then they're just, they're not going to have success in the business. So what I want to share with you guys here is to stress to you guys is to make sure you're working from a list and making sure that you're always inviting people. I shoot, and this is part of my yard selling approach, and even if I'm not, in my friends list now, I invite 3 to 5 people a day, no questions asked, whether that's in a group, whether there's people that have followed up or people that have mentioned that they were interested, but now's a bad time. And this is you hear this from top coaches, but making sure to stress that if you're not at least inviting 3 to 5 people a day, this business really is a numbers game. So the first thing here is to make a list. Can you guys see step 1 right now? I'm just kind of, you can see that?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So the first thing, and I know you guys raised your hand, for those of you that have a list, is to go through, I know this is right now, let's be honest, I know myself, this is a tough month. I mean, this time school's almost out. I know we have a lot of teachers, kids are playing soccer or sports. People have a zillion things going on, but summer's also here too. And we know that people want to be beach ready. So it's kind of, I always think of it like, well, you can kind of fill your brain with the excuse that, well, people are busy, so they're not interested. But you also know that people, I hear it all the time, that people, they've got these trips planned to go overseas or, to go to, Mexico, wherever they want to go, and they want to go on these trips, but, so it's kind of that balance. So this is this ultimate memory jogger. If you think of anybody on your list, friends, families, coworkers, anybody at all, to make a list and jot that down. I can't tell you how many people that I thought, this is the other thing, is I've assumed that people weren't interested in what we have to offer at Beachbody, like in a program. And it's fooled me many times. And of course, we all get no's. It's totally normal. But I can't tell you guys how many times I put aside assuming that somebody didn't want my help. And when I got over that fear of thinking, oh, they're not interested, so I'm not going to message them. And when I did, they're like, well, actually, I'm glad you reached out because I am interested. I talked last week, funny story really quick. I had a buddy I went to grade school with. He's been pretty much extremely overweight all his life. He actually had a stroke after high school. And he reached out to me last week and said, hey, Brian, I've been watching this stuff and we don't talk and we're not face-to-face. And he lives on the other side of the state here in Michigan. But he messaged me and said, hey, Brent, can you tell me more about what you do? I've seen it for years. And I know I've thought about messaging you. And we talked last week on the phone at like 11 o'clock. I think it was last Wednesday night. And he is not bonding. We went through and we assessed and went through. But I always was afraid that if I reached out to him, he would feel like, as a former friend, and a former classmate, and we grew up together, that, knowing that he's had so many health issues, that I didn't want to feel like if I came at him, he would feel pressured because he struggled with that. And it's something that's sensitive to me. And when he made a message to me, it was just kind of reaffirmed me that, to come from the heart. And the fact he didn't buy a single thing, but the fact that we had a good conversation, I would have never assumed to put him on my list of all these contacts, is my fault, because I think what we have is a solution for him. And he's plugging through that right now and just looking at some options to see what's going to be good for him, because if he's so out of shape and it's just a whole nother topic. But so just make sure, don't take anybody off your list just because you think that they don't need our help. Step 2 here is just kind of to piggyback on that. People that I know, like, for example, my mom's a hygienist. Some of her work friends saw a post we're not friends on Facebook, or have heard that, these challenges that we run in our group, in our team, and have heard. And so they've ended up reaching out to me mutually through my mom or, through other colleagues. So just make sure if you have people that are interested or that are people that you've talked to in the past and are like, hey, I've got friends that are interested. Don't rule out people that aren't in your Facebook friends list. Referrals are huge. Has anybody here, how many people have had referrals before? I can't see the whole screen right now. So, there we go. So referrals and always working from that active candidate list here. The other thing here too is the script. Now I know I've shared a lot of scripts in our 5-step document with our with the coaches. One of the things that Eric does here is just I'm a visual learner as a teacher. I mean, you could sit here and lecture. Here I am lecturing or talking, but unless I see it in person, if I have a visual to see, to model that, that's how I typically learn. So this is why this PDF for me is so important. But if you look at this list, guys, of this memory jogger, there are just tons and tons of people and ways that we can share what we provide at Beachbody, who we can provide it to. I mean, logo wear. Tim and I talk about this all the time. This is another great perk of finishing a program because you get a free shirt. And when you get a free shirt, what is the easiest way to basically promote what you're doing? Logo wear. I mean, Tim goes fishing. He's got some cool gear. If he's wears his T25 shirt, he's got hats. Every month I apply to every month, if you guys don't know this too, every month I set my calendar for 30 days on the Team Beachbody site. You can submit your results and I get a free t-shirt every single month. I pretty much have a shirt for every single program that we have. It's kind of pathetic because that's all I wear. A teacher, you'd think, besides polo shirts so logo wear is huge. So just know, your people, when we go to church function, I've had people say, oh, you do those programs. It's just a great conversation starter. So all these people, whatever profession you're obviously we have all professions on our team. But I'm sure if you look at this list, you'll find something. And people. I know we had a furnace guy come out. Our furnace went out a week and a half ago. Wearing my gear. It was crazy. He came in the morning. Our heat was down to nothing, and just wearing a shirt because I was cold. And it was like, hey, didn't buy anything, but we started a conversation. So again, don't rule anybody out. And let me scroll down here. So this is the master list. I'll show you guys really quick here. This is what I do. Probably here. Can you guys? Oh, sorry. What I use, obviously, I have my wife. This is what I've always used. I work from my my weekly planner, and so what I put in here is it's all divided up. But every time I yard sale, I keep track of or people I'm talking to. I put these people down on a list in my hot, warm, and cold list, and then like today, I had a conversation with a woman who said, I'm ready to go. She signed up for a free player. She said, it looks good. I'm ready. I have to wait till May 1st. Her husband's in the military. So I put one to May 1st. I put her down. I went I got all her contact information. And so we're going to touch base obviously the first day for June. If you're not working from a list or an Excel spreadsheet, I highly recommend you do. If you don't prefer that, this memory jogger may serve you some purpose here. Let me go back to sharing screen. And so this is obviously a little more formal, but you guys can see the organization and the method that is in place here. What I like about this is that you have, if you look here, guys, next exposure, how many times do we hear? And this is, how many times does it take people to say yes to opportunity? More than once, right? So, you could put down the first time you had exposure. I work all my messaging through Facebook. I know some people email. So when I have a conversation with somebody and we're messaging back and forth, and even though it ends well, I always look for a follow-up. I put it in my calendar, but look here, I can also now, I have this, and by the way, I have this whole thing printed at school. In my binder, I 3-hole punched this whole packet, and I printed it, and so I keep this at school along with my binder. But that when you go back to somebody, let's say it's a new month and you're following up with people that were interested, you can go back and say, hey, on April 16th, this person was interested and said, catch me next month. So I can see here exposure. And number two, I can go back to my messages and see that. That's the great thing about Facebook Messenger is we see when we had that last conversation. So it's not like you have to toggle through an email. I love that about, I think it's so easy for us to keep messaging. The other thing here, and by the way, does anybody have any questions about this? I know I'm going pretty quick here. I want to make sure if you guys have any questions about anything I've said, I'll certainly stop and slow down. All is well? Okay. So this is about 6 or 7 pages of just duplicate copies. So you can, if you want to add more, that's totally up to you. Let me scroll down here. Get down here, sorry. This is all your master list. And then one of the things this is probably my favorite thing, and this is Tommy, if you guys are Tommy, if you don't know who Tommy Migran is, you know, our head coach in terms of Team Swarm, and you know, obviously we're a subdivision of him under Team Endurance. But one of the things that Tommy is excellent at is, of course, the 5-step document. So this is, let's say you've got prospects now. This is I love doing this stuff. This is my absolute favorite. But we're busy. When I talk to somebody, I mean, their time's valuable. My time's valuable. We're all super busy. So one of the things Eric Worre talks about in his CD or in his book, he's taken this from his GoPro book and put this in, obviously, in literature here for us. But you can see, I often say, hey, you know, I'm on my lunch break right now. I've got, you know, I'll tell them, you know, that I'm in between meetings, or I'm got, you know, 20 minutes to chat. Thanks for reaching out to me, or thanks for messaging me. Is it okay if we chat now? Because so I have a few minutes. When people, I've noticed personally, and you guys are certainly can interject, when people, it's not just nothing to do with pressure, but when people know that you respect their time and they respect yours, it makes the conversation go so much better, especially for people that you don't know, that, you know, you've met through social media. So these are great scripts to follow. You know, I'm super glad you reached out to me. I'm busy, you're busy. Can we chat now? And so that part in step 1 is just a way to basically get your conversation started. And if they say, you know what, obviously for cold market, if they're not able to talk now, or if you're not, just say, you know, when is a good time to chat? In step 2 now, which is really important here, is if you have people, you know, I have friends that do real estate. I have friends that, you know, are in marketing, do sales, and are great. They do this, you know, they do great at their jobs. And so this for me has been really helpful to be able to share with them in a non-salesy way, just some very formal scripts. You know, people say, you know, I see what you're doing, and you're obviously really passionate. And then I usually follow up with something like, I love it. Is this something that you would have ever considered? Or I was thinking, you know, I thought you would do really good at this too. Is that something, you know, you always don't look for a yes or no question. If you look for, would you do this? You're typically going to get a yes or no, and you're going to hit a roadblock in the conversation, and then it's hard to really kind of pick up the momentum. So these are just some really simple scripts to follow. You know, when you're when people know that you sincerely care, or, you know, we have an opportunity. We all know this. Beachbody Coaching, I mean, you guys obviously saw my post last week that I tagged Tim in. I mean, I wrote that with my heart and soul. You know, Tim put an opportunity out in front of me, and it's changed my life. And if it's changed my life, I know damn well that there's plenty of people that could impact a lot more than me, whether it's financially or whether it's for their own health and fitness. So, you know, just this script, I'm reading this over. I'm like, I wish this script, guys, would have been around 3 years ago when I started as a coach. I can tell you that much. The other thing here is, let me just go down here. In step 3, this is kind of talks about your direct sales approach. You know, again, if you're building like what Tim's been doing, like we've been trying to be in this month with building a like page and obviously promoting a post or boosting your page, you know, you're targeting a formal market, you know, whether it's males, female, you know, genders, age bracket, you know, groups. That's totally awesome. But when you, like for myself, like when when I post in yard sales or I'm looking for, busy moms looking to lose weight, they know exactly what my target is when I put those posts out. So when they come back, it's important that we can follow up in a formal way that's going to be, this is an opportunity for you to get back, for example, not the business side, this is an opportunity for you to get back on track. What are your goals? Is it weight? Is it toning up? Is it how you feel? Is it, what is it that you're really looking to accomplish with this challenge? So keeping that conversation going. And this here just talks more about the coaching side of it. Network Marketing Pro, he focuses a ton on the business side of it, of course. If we were to invite coaches per se, as opposed to invite challengers to get fit, like in our team endurance group. So I don't want to read the whole thing with you guys. This is just cold market, warm market. It's very elementary in terms of language. I think any new coach that reads this could easily feel like, I honestly feel reading through this that it's not watered down, but it's to a point where if you look through this, if you're taking notes, and just get out there and practice. There's a great book called Go for No. People are going to tell you no. The only way to really get any traction is if you got to fail forward and you got to be vulnerable. We're not sleazy salesmen, going, selling, tires to the door. So, we're people that love these programs. And so, I don't want anybody to feel like, that there's people out there that they should shy away from or feel intimidated to invite people to the coaching opportunity, because I've held it back. I've held coaching back for a long time because I don't want people to think I'm some achy salesman. I really don't. But I know it's some people, there's people out there that really could benefit what we offer. So just a great script, guys. And this is the part I always say, when people tell me they're interested in what we have at the end, if they're like, well, tell me more. If I would you, I use this all the time. I know Tim and I have talked about this. I'll typically say, if I send you 2 videos on this challenge, would you watch them? It's very informal. It's very there's not a pressure to it. And I'll always send them maybe PIO and 21-day fix. And I'll say, yes, of course I'll watch them. And I send them the videos. And then when they're done, I'll typically say, they'll say, oh, I like the videos. And I'll say, well, what did you like about the videos? I don't want them to say, oh, the women lost weight. Oh, I think I could do that. Oh, it looks like it wouldn't be too tough. If they're giving you just surface answers, I'm looking to dig more at that. And so this kind of goes through a little bit more when they watch those videos. Even our 7-minute coaching video we have, like there's a new Team Beachbody one I send to people on the coaching opportunity. Let the video do the talking. And we've talked about this before, guys. I don't want to sound redundant. Let the videos do the talking. The company spends thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, actually, of course, to put these videos together. So we invite people, put the product in their hands or put it in their viewing to let them make the decision for themselves. We don't have to be experts on Shakeology and know every single ingredient. We don't have to, I know every single fitness program. I know Irma just rocked out the Ultimate Reset, so she's like the new guru for that, which is awesome. So we don't have to be experts in every single program, but just let the videos do the talking. And then if they're ready to follow up, right here, when they say yes, you're going to be ready to put them in our challenge group or to put them in our coach group. And that's it. And again, this list here, at the very end, guys, it just gives you some examples of working from a direct approach, indirect approach. And this is another example there. And just some other, and then they give you blank templates, which is cool. So, I still struggle with this. It's something that I work on daily, but I think as you continue to fail forward and you continue to be vulnerable and put that opportunity in front of everyone, I think whether, again, a coaching side of it or the customer side of it, it'll get easier. And I know that right now, again, everyone's so busy, and this document I'll add to the group, but I just wanted to share with everybody because I think there's no need for anybody in our team to go out and have to invent something or reinvent something. I think the tools, Tim, I know Tim really likes this book. I love this book, Network Marketing Pro. It's a phenomenal, it's an easy read, if you have the audio book, I would buy it on Amazon. I think it's like, in fact, I think I see advertisements, he's giving it away for like $5 now, free shipping or something. So I love audiobooks in the car. Maybe if you like to read, a lot of the if women like to read their books at night or in the morning, whatever. The books, it's next to nothing. So it's a pretty low key, obviously, investment. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. In terms of that document, I wanted to share that with everybody. So, Tim, are you live in there, buddy? Can you hear?
No. Not hearing him.
Huh.
Hear that?
Oh, a little louder.
Yeah, you can hear it now.
Now we can hear it.
Yeah.
So, does anybody have any questions about the document or anything?
Oh, sorry.
Topic? There it is.
I just came for the choir concert. I just have to sing. I don't know what it is, but
Man.
But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to share real quick too, Brent, that all that's amazing stuff like that. Listening to that GoPro book that you suggested to me, was I think even more powerful than reading this. I mean, all that stuff that you just showed is amazing stuff. But I would even suggest if you can get the audiobook, because he actually goes through and says those different lines that you can use with your customers or prospective customers. And it actually gives you kind of a sense of like inflection and how to say those things the right way, especially the ones that I know that I always think of Brent when I see that, like, hey, I've got a few minutes, but I have 20 minutes to chat. Would you like to do this? I'm like, yes, that, but the idea that you actually hear him saying them the way that he uses them is really powerful too. So obviously this is a great document. Always go back to it. This is something I've been listening to this audiobook now over and over again. And it's just so powerful because it gives you the tools, the next step, right? So all those ways to contact and get a hold of people, but then it also takes you to the next step of how to talk to people. And that's, one of the things that I know that I really, really need practice on, because I don't tend to be in a hurry when I talk to people. And I'm more likely to say, to be kind of relaxed and try to maybe even calm them. Maybe it's my years of talking to angry parents on the phone. I don't know what that is, but when I'm just trying to calm them down a little bit, like, hey, let's talk about this, So I need to switch gears, I think, a little bit. So, but yeah, amazing stuff, Brent. Thanks so much for giving us all that information.
Yeah, and you guys, like Tim said, the book. I mean, one of the things when you're listening to that, you're gonna, whether if you're reading it, you're gonna hear you're gonna make the language. I mean, own the language. I mean, the scripts are there. There's obviously quotations to use, but don't feel bad if you feel like you wouldn't say it exactly like that. Feel free to change up the wording a little bit, but it's there for you. There's a lot of intent. I mean, like Tim said, I've listened to it in several times because I go back every time I listen to it. I'm like, oh, I didn't hear that the first time. I didn't hear it the second time. It's kind of like teaching kindergarten. And then the kid comes to like, can you tie my shoe? I'm like, oh, he's been there for 10 minutes. Oh, okay, I'll tie it now. I'm working. Yeah, I'll tie. Oh, you want me to put that book back in the shelf? Okay, yeah, it takes, so people are going to say no. They're going to say no. And just like that, with the, opportunity in front of them, going back, use that language. So it's there. I'll share it on the team page and, yeah. So, yeah, I appreciate everyone getting on tonight. It is, wow, we're, who would have thought? I got a pro account here keeping under 40 minutes. My goodness. I know we got, guys, you guys know we have obviously 1 week left. This is, everybody knows too, this month for Success Club is that Brian Tracy, it's a webinar, looks pretty cool. And something to shoot for. I know I've not heard much on Brian Tracy. I know the company does a lot with him. I can't really say I know much about that, but I'm excited. The webinars, I think they've done that badass, I don't know what her name is, didn't they do a badass, that girl with the yellow book? We did a webinar with her, I think, in February for Success Club. So if you're close to Success Club, it'd be be a good good topic. Hop on. Get a call with him. So I think that's what we have. Anyone else have anything to share? All righty. Well, appreciate you guys getting on tonight. Enjoy this weather. It's I know it's very valuable that you guys could get on tonight. It means a lot to Tim and I and the coaches. And obviously stay engaged. If you guys have any questions in the coach group, feel free to throw them up there, and have a good week. All right, guys.